Morning, everybody. To the Boxing Day letter, we have the amazing President
Yes.
CEO of RGTX Logistics Solutions, Jeff Dickerson, my co-host. Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Good man. How you doing? How was your weekend?
Well, you know what? It was good, but let's get into the intro.
Yeah, that's
Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
There we go. It's a little slow, of a bit of a morning, but we'll get there. As we're kind of getting into that week where nobody knows what date it is. You just wake up and you're like, okay, well, maybe it's that. Maybe it's almost next year. It's like,
yeah.
there. How was your Christmas, brother?
It was great. And to your point, it will be Wednesday of next week already. We just don't know it. I mean, that's how fast it's going to
Exactly.
go
You
this week.
kind of. Well, it's kind of funny. Like
Yeah.
it's so like last year I kind of started like not necessarily a tradition, but like I realized that hey, nothing brand new was going to be moving this week. So I started watching like the Harry Potter movies for like the first time. So like I binged. So maybe I'll pick like maybe like a show or
Very
a movie or something.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of go from there.
You got you,
Um
you got to say it with the French accent, the Harry Potter. I mean,
yeah, hey,
I've watched it so
well,
many
you got the
times.
broom back there.
I do. I have that, man. I love that broom, man. It's awesome. Bought it at a craft show. I don't know how many years ago, and I'll tell you what, that son of a bitch, man, has been looks the same way it did 8-10 years ago. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how they made it. I don't want to know, but
Yeah. It's consistent as it. Do you actually use it or is it just kind of like a prop?
no, I do use it in the office. Just because when I'm shredding paper and all this other kind of stuff flies all over the place, so I just use it then. But yeah, it's a good little thing.
Awesome. That's awesome. So how was
So
Christmas?
what's
What about
going on
yesterday?
yours? How was your Christmas, man? What happened in the Muhammad family over the weekend?
It was pretty cool. It's cooking, just enjoying basically family company and things like that. And for us, I think the big one for me was that it was our rescue's first Christmas ever. So like to just kind of see
Oh
her
wow!
like uh,
Did you go down to the
see how she
pound,
saw.
or yeah? Did you go down to the pound and
So
spend some time with the Indians
no,
down there, or what?
wish we could. So that's the difference between Canada and the US. We necessarily don't have that. We don't have quote unquote pounds. So you can't like we have like the end like they're not really open to the public. Like you're basically go on the website, see like a dog, you'll meet them and then you'll adopt them. So there's no really place to like go spend time with them. But it's something that I always kind of see in the States that you're able to actually could do that. So if we had that, I would definitely take advantage of
Yeah,
that. Yeah, so it's like one of those
yeah.
things. But
Time to
uh
change. Time to
yeah,
change
times
that,
change.
man.
Definitely time to change that. What'd you get up to yesterday?
Oh, nothing. It was actually a relaxing day. We actually opened presents late in the afternoon.
Same thing.
Yeah. A nice little dinner and stuff like that, but just hung out. Nothing really special and stuff like that.
Just a normal
But
kind of Christmas.
yeah. Nothing big. It used to be big when we were younger, and just complete chaos. And as you get older, things start. I wouldn't say going by the wayside, but they get a little mellower, which isn't bad.
Mm. I'll slow
Yeah,
down, especially at 6. Jeff, there was a question last week I actually had written down to ask you, but I forgot to do it. So that's on me. But I do want to ask you this
yeah,
morning. As you are
sure.
the president of the North Jersey Association of Logistics and Supply Chain Luminaries, what do you guys kind of got planned for next year?
That's a great question. We started this. We started this association probably about 7 or 8 months ago, but it was one of these kind of things where we just didn't want to just launch it and say, okay, here's an association. What are we going to do now? We're putting so much thought into this because we don't want it to be your typical traffic club or organization or what we call the good old boys club, where it's the same people all the time and where people go and they just drink and they talk about the same subjects. I personally wanted to make it a lot different on that side And when you do things like that, you know, your typical golf outings and Top Golf and all this other kind of stuff, yes, we'll have it, but that's not really our priority. Our priority is like pretty much leaving a legacy, and helping other people who are entering the field of logistics and supply chaining, and bringing in those SMEs into the club so that they can, you know, help mentor, coach, develop these young kids that are coming out of college, or even career-minded people who are changing jobs and considering going from one part of the supply chain into another, and they wanted to learn. Well, we want to have those type of people associated with my association who can help with people. I mean, I've got you know, one of my board members is director of ocean for Pegasus Group, and another one is owns Bullseye Staffing. So I'm getting women involved into this much more than other clubs too. And I said this over and over again, Ryan, over the years, decades that I've been in the business, a lot of women have been overlooked for a very long time. They're high caliber. They're just as smart as men. I say it, and I'll say it in front of anybody. You know, I believe that they should be paid equally as much as men, because they have a lot of value that they bring. And it really shouldn't be a man-woman situation. It just should be, we're supply chain experts.
Yes.
Experts consume whatever gender that you may be, and it shouldn't be that typical thing. So that's what we're trying to do. And you know, we're going to get women in trucking, women in logistics, women in maritime. So we're in the midst of doing that right now, and we're going to get together in the first quarter, probably in mid-January, somewhere around there.
Perfect.
Well, we're just going to go out to lunch and just think about all the different things. We have a list, man. It's a mile, but it's consolidating that. Timothy Tang is going to be part of it as well. So yeah, so yeah, a lot of things. Thanks for asking. You know, but we do have you know, our site on LinkedIn. We haven't been adding much to it. We do have our logo. We're going to have some swag. There's all different kinds of things that to help promote, you know, the next generation, so that they can carry the torch and make the logistics and supply chain a lot better than what it is today. So that's basically how I wanted to develop this.
So if anybody is out in that area and they want to know more, the best way would be to connect.
They can get right in contact.
More
yeah, they can get in contact with me, or they can go to the LinkedIn site, and hit any one of the board members up to ask questions. I have some other people I won't mention right now that are across the country, all over the place, that will be involved as well. Women that will help other women get more involved into you know, supply chain logistics. So it's a big thing that we're trying to bring all together. And with all those moving pieces, it's like logistics. You have to take your time. You have to do it, you know, in a certain way if you're going to make it work. So that's what we're trying to develop right now.
That's awesome to hear. And you know, that's what I really appreciate about kind of giving back, because that's what people should be doing. So when you guys ever have
Absolutely.
like an event, I'd love to attend some, to kind of like, hey, just kind of be there, and maybe we'll do an episode from there or something like that. But kudos to you and
Yeah,
the team for
that's
putting
awesome.
that together. That's awesome to hear,
Thanks.
because you bring up a lot of good points, especially like women in trucking, things like that. Cool. And that's something that I didn't see that was such a of it, like on the industry, especially look at like salespeople, right? So I've kind of worked at, majority of it is men, right? Like there's not that conversation of like, hey, let's have a woman come and bring in here and be like a sales rep or like operations or something like that. So I think that's tremendously
Right.
remarkable about you, Jeff.
Yeah, you know Lindsay Trent. You know Lindsay
Yeah, no, Lindsay
Trent.
Trent,
She started Next Generation. She's going to get involved with us. So that's what I'm saying from other ones, because she's going to try to help develop, you know, more women to get them involved. You see that she's trying to add courses at high school and everything to get more people involved in trucking, which is fantastic. You know, but she's putting a lot of emphasis on the women's side. I'm all for it. I'm fully supportive of that, and I'm glad that she wants to help us out as well. So
That's awesome. And you know what? That you're kind of changing the narrative as well, because there's kind of like that running joke. Anytime you meet like six person, whether it be sales, operations, whatever, you always kind of have that icebreaker. How did logistics find you? Right? Because logistics finds you truly. Like, I don't feel like, and maybe we're changing that narrative, right? Like people go to school and they're like, hey, I
yes,
want to work in transportation. I want to work in supply chain. I know my friends, they've taken like supply chain, but they've been on like customer side of it, like the shipper side of it, like managing like warehouses and things like that, but not like our side, right? So
and
it'd
that's
be
a
kind of
great,
cool to
you know what? That's a great space to
oh,
start
it's
in.
great.
And
It's
I put
amazing.
that, I mean, I put that out on LinkedIn. Um, I think there's no better learning tool than being in the trenches, getting dirty day in and day out, and then going to college and then putting the pieces together, because it's a good combo, because now you'll really learn a lot. But when you go to college and you learn from case studies, you're really not getting dirty. And then all of a sudden you go from school to the field, then you start getting dirty, but you're really not learning, or the way I should put it, you should be more advanced than that. So that's why I strongly recommend get dirty and then go to school and then learn that. And then the pieces really start falling in together. And then you can start creating your own journey in logistics. And the other thing too is that a lot of people, minor and majors, and they go into college, they want to get into supply chain or logistics. And then it's like, do I really want to do that? You're going to find
Yeah.
out a lot quicker if you get down to dirty and you start getting into, the trenches, because that's going to separate a lot of people, because then you'll really see what logistics and supply chain is all about, and all the moving pieces that are in it. That's why I strongly recommend it. I think there's no better way to learn the industry than to do it just like that. Truly.
No, and I agree. Is it like that hands-on approach? Just this, I always kind of used to say this is when I was in college universe. So much you can learn from books. You're doing K and all that stuff, but actually go out there and meet them. I remember in college, I was taking marketing because I was in business admin, and for the case study, our professor, he didn't want us to go from a book. He actually made connections with CEOs, so we actually went to the actual companies and understood like, hey, this was like the case study. What did you guys actually go through, and actually build something based on that, instead of like, okay,
Yeah.
well, X versus so and this is our interpretation. Because one thing we've kind of noticed, you're going to get better information, and then once you can understand somebody's mindset, it's going to be completely lifelong. Like, you're able to relate with them.
Yeah. And the
So
thing is like when I say getting dirty, though, I mean, listening to an individual, what they have to say. You go to events and conventions and all of this, and you listen to SMEs. Yeah, sure, they can tell you, how the industry is evolving and new things and new tools that are being invented and that are being implemented, everything. But to really get that understanding, getting down and dirty, and actually using the things that are available prior to going to these events, then things start ticking. They start, you start going, yeah, now I understand it. That's why I'm a huge advocate. Drive a forklift, load a truck,
yeah,
stock shelves, go into freight payment, go into operation, go into warehouse, go into distribution. I'm telling you, all of those things are so key, and understanding. Talk to the drivers out there, go for a ride in a truck. I mean, it's just, I can't tell you. I mean, I did all these things, and it's so, like, it's mind blowing. I should say it's pretty much mind blowing. It's
it is.
it's like where the rubber hits the road, no pun intended, but it's either going to make you or break you. Seriously, it really will. It
And when
absolutely.
you're doing that, when you're actually devoting that time and that like effort, because everything takes time, right? You realize that you don't have to have like we've talked about this a million times. You don't have to have like 30, 50 customers. You get 10 or even 5. It doesn't matter what there is, but you get ingrained, you understand what there is, and you actually have the conversations instead of having the same boring script or anything like that normal people kind of have. But you become a resource. You're not an order taker, you become a resource. Become You're able to, like you said, get into freight payments, understand like, okay, when they kind of bill out, how long does it take for not you to get paid, but them to get paid from their vendors,
Yeah.
and cash flow, and see how that kind of goes, right? Because
Yeah, claims, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking A to Z within the supply chain logistics, man. Ask questions, dive into it. Ask them if they can help you to understand better. There's never a stupid question. That's what I did over my career, and I saw the evolution of prior to 3PLs even being in existence, and how much it changed, and all the tools, and then having that adaptability and learning as new things come out, because you have to, in this industry, especially on the knowledge base, you have to be a chameleon in the logistics and supply chain. You have to change your skin constantly all the time and learn as much as you possibly can. And if you're not, you're going to be left behind, man. I mean, let's face it, when you start out and you're in the operations, you're not going to work an 8-hour day, man. You're going 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, I've been up to 17, 18 hours on a daily basis for 6, 7 days a week. And I'll tell you, if you can get through that hump, you'll be okay in the industry. But that's where the rubber hits the road. It literally does, when it's so demanding. I can't say it any much, man. I can preach it all day long, because I love doing that.
Yeah, we might do like a 12-hour another episode with you kind of talking about that. But I want to switch topics a little bit, because I know I kind of want to keep it a little bit from here. So as I was doing some research on you, Jeff, we're obviously good friends. We've been working together for a while now. Can you tell me a little bit of what you kind of done with the Wounded Warriors Project?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. First, I sponsor Mission 22. That has to do with 22 service men or women committing suicide every day. I mean, it's down to about 18 now. So we're going in the right direction. So I support and sponsor the golf outings every single year. I want to get more involved into that as well. I've also donated a couple of my cars to the Wounded Warrior Project because, look, I want to give back. They've given their arms, their legs, their lives, for our freedom. And, if you want to go and support a worthy cause, those are two of the best ones that I would strongly recommend doing it. Of course, there's other major fundraisers out there. But man, it's a great group of guys and women out there that, love this country and do whatever they possibly can to make sure of its survival, and that our freedoms, still are in place. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I enjoy doing that a lot.
And those are the most important things. I think it gives you that fruitful and being able to kind of like not necessarily give back, but just have that mindset of,
Right.
hey, I'm just not selfish. I'm just not working this logistics and kind of hoarding everything to myself. So kudos to you for being a part of those things. And I think everybody, for 2023, or even like starting now, because I know Dan's a big person of, hey, take action now. But
Yeah, no, exactly.
my way till 2023. But if you're not affiliated with any kind of volunteer or like fundraiser or anything like that, definitely look into it. And I think just kind of not only just breathe logistics and like your family life, just have something because you have. I won't say it gives you purpose, but something to kind of look forward to help somebody out, because a lot of people, Jeff, yesterday being Christmas, they go downtown with a lot of homeless people and definitely like donate and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, well, let's keep that going. What if you can keep the momentum going, like not necessarily every single day, but maybe it's something like you do like every 2 weeks, or like instead of seeing that impact, and kind of being more things. So kudos to you for working with those two organizations. They're
Yeah, and I have a couple more things I'm going to be doing next year. I just couldn't do it this year, but there'll be more to follow on that. I'll let everybody know. I've got a couple things that I'm going to be doing for the community and stuff, probably in the second quarter and third quarter of this year. So yeah, it's all going to be good stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been procrastinating for a long time, but that's one of the, I wouldn't say resolution, something I always wanted to do. So
that's awesome. And you because of this industry, about a little more in future episodes, but because of this industry, it's been able to afford us these things to give us that time. And a little bit I want to talk a little bit about tomorrow. We got the main man, Gunnar Miller, the People's Captain. You guys are gonna love his story. So everyone's seen his posts. If you're in the logistics space, he's a must follow for me personally. And he actually had me on his podcast a couple months ago when I first got started with Sales Chatter. And the one thing, and it's the same thing with you, Jeff, is when you have a conversation with somebody and they're to make you feel like you've known them forever, that is like, for me, like person, they have good intentions. They're not lit. They can answer or say what they kind of want to say. truly want to kind of dig deep and have those conversations. So tomorrow at 9 a.m., we're gonna have Gunnar Miller. He's amazing. Have you ever had any interactions with Gunnar and Jeff?
Yeah, I connected with him. I know he asked me to go on his shows some time ago. I said, whenever you're ready, I'm willing, able, and ready whenever you are. So, yeah, he seems like a really good guy. I mean, he puts a lot of content out there for sure. I commented on it. I like a lot of his stuff as well. I know he's only been in the industry a short period of time, but he's a guy that definitely wants to move forward, and he's moving forward at a rapid pace. I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, he is a wrestler, right? So the only way that you can succeed is that you gotta put a lot of work and effort into everything that you do every single day and what you want to do for your life's journey. He's doing it, man. He's doing what he needs to do on his personal side, on his business side, and how to promote himself as the people's captain. So good for him, man. It's awesome. I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna love his origin story. It's probably one of my favorites. When he kind of told me on his episode. But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do it, and even this week we're gonna have Data Day with Dean on Wednesday. We have Jet Stubbs, who's gonna be talking join us on Thursday. I connected with her about 2 months ago, and what really you're gonna love her story as well. I feel like when you bring people who have like those amazing like from my that and what you're gonna love about her story is that she was facing. You know what? Forget it. I'll tell you guys on Thursday. She's here to tell everybody. But Jeff. Let her kind of do there. So what are your plans for the week? I know this is going to be a little bit of a slower week in our supply.
You know what? It's going to be slow. I mean, it's just going to be slower. We were talking, in the green room prior to going live here, and it's part. Sure, there's a lot of the logistics guys that are out there and the brokerage guys that are out there, and girls, women. They have certain customers that work 7 days a week, regardless of shift work and all that. God bless them. Keep on hustling. Go and do that. I have specific customers that don't do that, and they're big, but they have system-wide, facility-wide shutdowns during the holiday. So, this is a great time for me to get ready for my taxes this year over the next couple of weeks, and then just take a step back a little bit. It's good. I mean, my partner and I are in cahoots, and so that's what we're doing. So, will we move stuff? Yeah, we're going to move stuff, but not as much as we would have maybe a week or two ago. So, yeah. How about you? What's happening with your customer? I know you mentioned something that you were going to sit back.
Yeah, so like I was telling, like we'll talk about it here. I sent out, I called all my customers, and then last week, and then I've seen that their auto offices are basically they're in there till like mid-January, really. So that first week or second week of January. So for me, I'm still gonna prospect. You just never know. Maybe kind of bring it down a little bit less. Send out some opportunities, because one thing we kind of learned on Christmas Eve was, hey, we were working with an existing customer, and they had like last minute stuff that we took care of for them. So you kind of want to be that resource too. But like I said, it's just going to be a time to just kind of relax, unwind, enjoy this, and my wife took the week off as well, so we enjoy time together, and kind of looking to kind of like planning out what we want to personally see our relationship, our family, and things like that for next year. So it's kind of like more connection, because hey, it's 24/7, but I feel like this is the one time that you get to kind of put your feet up a little bit, right, and not have to worry about hearing that.
You missed one thing. You said 24/7. You forgot about the 365.
Yeah, 366, man. It never, the logistics adds on. You gotta look at the different time zones, right? So it's added on about 5 different days, right? When you get that to
there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. But let's it's amazing. We want to keep it really short. So we want to thank everybody for coming out this morning. I know Dan's getting a little bit better, so hopefully to have him back on his future episodes and things like that. Jeff, like we said, we've got Gunnar tomorrow. We got Data Day with Dean, Jet on Thursday, and then we'll wrap up the week with a pretty fun week. I had a great time on last Friday's episode.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I think we kind of keep a little bit laid back and have some fun with it, because, like we said, logistics gets
exactly. That's like some of the the podcast that I'm going to be on, is that Look, logistics is very, very hard industry. It's a very rewarding one, but man, if you don't interject some fun into it, I've been in it for a long time and I've had a lot of fun over the decades doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And you just have to have that, you have to be humble. You have to have a lot of fun. You have to crack jokes. We are in the trucking industry. So, I mean, it's such a great field, Brian. It really is. And if you play it right, it is a game. It's about moving pieces of the puzzle in the right direction at certain times. And if you're able to do that, man, you're just going to love this industry so much. I'm telling you from my heart, been in it a long time.
Yeah.
I have no intentions of retiring because I don't have a job, man. I go on safari every day. I say this, and I'm a hunter, and seriously, it's an adventure. It's a daily freaking adventure, man. You love it, Get involved, guys, man. Go and find out all the different aspects of supply chain logistics, man. It's crazy. It's crazy fun. That's the way I look at it. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's the one industry, like I've always kind of said, like, you actually get to see the impact that you make. Like, I don't know about you, Jeff, but it was so amazing to actually, when I drive on the 401 here and I see certain trucks and I'm like, I know for a fact, like they're moving my stuff. So like it's cool to actually kind of see that, the first time I've seen my own shipment and directly how it's affected like the consumer of it is actually pretty cool. And Dan's kind of mentioned with like the wrapping paper and he put the wrapping paper Christmas and things like that. Stories where like we did like lobsters and actually getting to see them in the store from like from the Atlantic in Toronto. It's pretty cool.
And you go like, I put them there,
I did that. Yeah, I did that. I made that happen. So
I made that happen.
I'll be like, hey, where's my discounts? You guys want to throw me a case of lobsters for free? I'll take it.
Think about it. Another way to look at this, and I'll end it here. Everything we do, there's millions of people who are brokers in the business. Distributors, warehouses, truckers, logistics, supply chain people in there. Everything we do collectively, we do for ourselves, literally. And when I say that, if we're able to cut costs and we can do it broadly, we cut down our cost on the purchase side of it, right? Because we may be moving this stuff, but we're also buying the stuff that we're moving. Yep. So, when you can cut cost, you're cutting cost for yourself and you're saving yourself some money. If you look at it that way, it's a vicious round circle. It really is. And you're trying to help each other out. It's not about the competition, but it's about doing the right thing, and helping everybody else out. It really is.
Leave a little piece on the table for somebody else, and that's what you believe.
But man, that's what it's all about. Absolutely.
So we'll leave with that. Jeff, always my friend. Let's get for coming out this morning. I know it's that day after. You guys don't have a holiday today, provincial holiday. It's a federal holiday here in Canada.
Oh well, it's dude, I was just talking to my wife before she went to work. They call it something Monday today. I forgot what it's called.
It's Boxing Day for us. Yeah, Boxing Day. So it's actually like a federal holiday.
Yeah, no, it's a massive sale after the holiday. And it's like a Cyber Monday, but I forgot the name of it, what it's called, but I still can't think of it. But yeah, it's a special day because people start going in there because there's some big, huge discounts. A lot of people wait until the day after Christmas to go shopping, because they have mega discounts and they want to just move so much stuff. So I'm curious. I'm going to find out what that day is.
Yeah, we never had Black Friday. So Boxing Day was the deal. Boxing Day was our original Black Friday. So yeah, people are lining up for TVs and different things like this. Is our and most other things are closed. So we'll hit the replay again 12 p.m. on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. See you guys out tomorrow. Dan still hasn't found the clip, and we did reach out to Restream and they couldn't find it. So we'll probably have to make a new one for Daman. But we'll see you guys tomorrow and have yourself a safe and amazing Boxing Day.
Have a great day.